Okay, so you dropped Trial by Fire in 2017 on Shady Interscope. It debuts 42 on Billboard. You know, it's not what Love Story did, but it's a solid outing. How'd you feel about that album?
Trial by Fire, I probably think is the most important hip hop country album that's ever been created. And you know what I mean? Like we were way, way, way ahead of the curve with some of those ideas, way too advanced. And but it's probably next to Love Story, creatively, probably the second most important I've done, most important record I've done thus far. I mean, you kidding me? Me, Winona Judd. I mean, come on, man. Like, there's records on Trial by Fire that set the standard, in my opinion, of if you're gonna blend hip hop and country, that's how you do it. And you know, and I went through hell making that record, and then I had to go live it. And you know, like, uh, Daylight, that single off of Daylight is like in that video, Shadows. Joshua Headley, right after I did Shadows with Joshua Headley signed to Jack White. You know, there was a paradigm shift in Nashville with that record. And I didn't expect it to go anywhere. So number 42 is chill. Cause I knew when I put that record out, I was like, yeah, this is for me. This is for me and my fans. This is like setting the record straight with how I would do this. Cause all this country rap shit was buzzing around Nashville. And I felt like it was being so disrespected and done with no, I don't know, no regard for hip hop, no regard for country. It was just like, there's no one to set the standard. And I did feel like it was my job, like literally. I was like, I'm the only one that can do this. I'm the only one that can do this correctly in Nashville, Tennessee, for sure. Correctly. Without it being hokey, without it being wannabe, you know what I mean? Dude. Yeah. So I think it's an important record. Definitely an important record in my career. But you know, I think that if you're diving into what country and hip hop could be, you know, there it is, you know. And then, you know, the king of it, you know what I mean, in my opinion, Struggle Jennings, you know. He took the reins on it, man, and he's, you know, and just going crazy. But yeah, I appreciate you asking me about Trial by Fire, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, and then in 2019, he dropped Trunk Muzik 3. And this is the final project on Shady. Is there a reason why you went independent after this as opposed to kind of staying in the Shady Interscope arena?
Nah, we fulfilled our agreement. You know, like we didn't like, it's not like, it's like we paid our dues, man. I paid my dues up there, you know, and I gave them great albums, great music. And it's only natural, it's a natural progression, you know, to get out and, you know, become my own boss. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? That's how it happens for most artists. You know, you grow your wings, man. And, you know, time to fly, basically. And, you know, I had built up Slim American to be a brand for all those years. And I knew that we had a solid foundation to go build it up, you know? And we did. And we're continuing to do that, you know? So, and I wanted my last record with, I thought it only right that if I came in with Trunk Muzik, I'm leaving with Trunk Muzik. So that's why we chose to drop the final Trunk Muzik 3 with Shady.
Well,
and
yeah, and that
a
debuted at number
too.
28. So that actually did better than Trial by Fire.
Well, yeah, it's a hip hop project, naturally. You know what I mean? It's, you know, it's got fucking, that's always going to under the Shady umbrella, especially, you know, hip hop and also the beef that Marshall and MGK just had. People wanted to peep in and hear what I was going to say about that. And overall, that's a great hip hop project as well. You know, there's some bangers on there, and yeah, yeah, I'm proud of that. Proud of that project.
Well, and then that same year, you dropped Ghetto Cowboy independently. And that did number 76 on Billboard, which is, for an independent project, pretty impressive.
I've never heard these numbers before, Vlad. Do you know that? You
Okay.
know that? That's the kind of artist I am. I don't give a fuck. I don't put
Okay.
out I don't put out music to follow numbers. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, my 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 manager J. Jones, he surprised me with a love story plaque. I got plaques for a bunch of shit that I don't have. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I appreciate the business side of it and the number side, but like, and it doesn't bother me hearing this, by the way. Like, I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I just want you to know on everything, I had no idea. But go ahead. Number 76, independent
Yeah.
for Ghetto Cowboy. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. What does that even mean? What is number 76? What does it mean? What equates to the numbers like that? How many you sell or whatever? Or streams?
Well, how many
I
you
can't even keep
sell
up
based
anymore.
on what everything else. But I mean, what it really means, I think most importantly, is that there's literally tens, if not hundreds of thousands of music projects that come out in America, every week, from independent, major, whatever else. And to be in the top 200 out of everything that ever drops, I think is impressive. It just shows where your fan base is, and it shows that people support you, even if you don't have a huge marketing push and you don't have the major label behind you and, pulling all the strings and so forth.
Yeah. I mean, major labels do have a lot of pull, man. You know, there's a lot of power to a
Yeah.
major label. And trust me, I did know the difference and did see and feel the difference in the release. You know what I mean? Like how it was released, what kind of push was there, what kind of support was there, what kind of support was not, you know? And shit, it was a new game to figure out. So, but you know, we're successful in that we have handled it, you know, and we keep getting better and better at knowing how to do this. And that was as far as like structuring a team to release that, that was tough, man. You know, because I actually for the first time had to dive into that side of it and pick out, you know, help to hand pick each person. So, but you know, it's like putting, you know, up until now, it's like we've put those people in that process through a sifter, you know what I mean? And what what's good stays, what isn't falls through the holes, basically. I forget sometimes about these albums. Ghetto Cowboy, man, like whoa, that's a monster. That's a really good record.
In 2021, the last album you put out, Mud Mouth, you said this would be your last rap album and you're going to move on to rock music.
Yeah.
Is that still the case?
I didn't say it would be my last rap album. I said it'll be my last hip hop project for a while. I'm gonna get focused on rock and roll. Um, so and that's what I did. You know, I fucking put out Mud Mouth, went out, shot a movie to it in Mexico City during COVID, by the way. Hustlers. Uh, and that movie will be coming out this next year, hopefully. It's taking like we did hand drawn animation throughout the movie, kind of like Roger Rabbit, like literally hand drawn. So it's taking over a year to do that, 2 years. Um, so and it's fucking epic too, man. The whole it's shot in Mexico and outside of Mexico City and within the city, and it's all about an acid trip. Um, you know, spiritual life and death. So it's pretty sick. But it's incredible visually, you know. And we took it there, major motion picture stunts and shit, like crazy. But but yeah, after Mudmouth, you know, I had already set seed with Shooter Jennings to do a rock and roll project. You know, we didn't know what it was gonna sound like, but we did know we wanted a rock and roll album, and how to do that we had no clue. But he sent me an acoustic guitar track, just a loop, and I wrote and recorded something under my stairs actually, and sent it back to him, and he was just blown away. And I was surprised how surprised he was, but he was like, "Oh my God, dude, if this is the first thing we do, no telling what we're about to do." And so we, at that point, booked studio time at Sunset Sound in LA. And I just realigned my focus to do a rock and roll project, you know? And it was due to me personally, all the way back to Stereo, classic hip hop, tribute to classic hip hop, a hip hop tribute to classic rock, all the way back to Stereo. I needed that. I needed that creative. I needed to hear myself in that world and to prove to myself that I could do it and do it right. And shit, man. We did the damn thing for sure.
Well, Yelawolf, man, it's a hell of a story that started from the very bottom. And I remember doing the interviews with you when you first got signed, and as you were trying to figure out your way and so forth. But the one thing that is exactly the same now as with the conversations we had 13, 14 years ago was that you were going to stay true to your art the whole time. You weren't going to deviate. You weren't going to go with the trends. You weren't going to switch up your look. You were going to do the kind of music that you wanted to do. And I remember you even said something, because I remember this always struck out to me. You said, like, I know I'll be successful eventually because all the other artists, they understand what I'm doing. Eventually the fans will as well. And I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to keep doing what I do, and eventually it'll catch up. And eventually it did catch up, because I think Love Story hadn't come out yet and so forth. So you didn't have any platinum songs or, you know, big albums at that point. But you stayed true to who you are, and here we are in 2024. A lot of people are trying to do what you've been doing right now. So artistically, man, I really salute you to what you've accomplished, because not a lot of artists do that. A lot of artists will go with whatever's hot at the time. Okay, if it's snap music, I'm going to do snap music. Okay, if it's country music, okay, I guess I'll try to do country music. But you've always done the same thing. And when you look at your style of music now, it's very similar to what you started out with. So, man, listen, congratulations on going through what you went through, starting at the very bottom, being homeless, trying to figure it out, multiple record deals, to having a solid fan base, having it work out independently, and continuously doing projects the whole time, and with more projects on the way.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Of course, man. And I got to see it. You know, I got to see it almost from the very beginning. And, you know, appreciate you sitting down with me, man. And, you know, looking forward to what you got coming up next.
Yeah, War Story. War Story is the answer to Love Story. I've got both the same producers. We did a Trunk Muzik, we got a double album, double hip hop album, Trunk Muzik Forever, which is the fourth Trunk Muzik, and then the Michael Wayne album. The Trunk Muzik record I did with Willpower, same producer I did the original Trunk Muzik with, and Malay. Those two producers who created Love Story with me. And yeah, man. All I could say is get ready. They better get ready for me, Vlad. Because, you know, as far as hip hop goes, man, like, you know, peeking back in has been Well, when I did peek back in after that rock and roll album, what I did with Shooter, it fueled me. I missed hip hop. I missed rapping. You know what I mean? And we did great with that record. We went out and opened up for Leonard Skinner. We played the Grammy Museum. Got all these critical accolades. You know, all the things that came along with that record has been beautiful. You know, and I felt like I got that off my chest, but it made me hungry to rap again. And this is definitely my best hip hop record to date, by far. So we've been releasing singles. I think we're on our 3rd right now. We got 2 more singles coming out. 3?
Yep. 3 more.
3 more singles.
Before the album and 3rd after the album.
1 single with Jelly Roll, Trailer in the Sky. Another single is Flashlight. And then finally, the last single that's going to drop with the album is called Legend. Or That's How You Make a Legend. All big music videos and all indie, man. Slamerican, 1 RPM.
That's what it is, man. Congratulations on your success and
Thanks for that.
really the determination and hard work that got you to this point, man. I know you got a lot of dope shit coming up. Can't wait to see it.
Appreciate it, brother.
Until next time.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Later.